people of BookTube, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today, I'm going to be talking about In the Hand of the Goddess by Tamora Pierce, and this is book 2 and the Song of the Lioness Quartet. So this is the second book in the series. The series books are short, so I don't feel there's too much I can say without giving spoilers. I will say I loved this addition to Alana's adventure. I love seeing her grow. I love seeing her grow up. And I don't just mean figuratively, I enjoy seeing her grow up, like, physically as well. Kind of like how the first book in the series focuses on Alana's time as a page, this book focuses on her time as a squire. John Squire, to be exact, and just her continuously trying to learn and train to be a knight while keeping the secret that she is actually a girl from everybody. I liked seeing more of her struggles. I liked seeing her mature and like come to terms with things, and just, it was a great addition to the series. Like I think I mentioned in the first review, I have read these books before ages ago. The first two books I remembered pretty decently. There were like finer things that I forgot, but I definitely remembered like the bigger plot points. The next two books I don't remember a lot at all. So it's gonna be really refreshing going into those, and just, it's gonna feel like I'm going into those for the first time again. I'm sure some things will come back to me as I read, but I'm just excited. And yeah, other than all that, I don't feel I can say too much more about this without going into spoilers, so if you have not read this far in the series yet, I highly suggest you click away now and come back after you catch up. And also, sorry in advance if you see me looking down, I am looking at my lovely notes. So first off, the cat lady in me loves Faithful. Loves Faithful. I want a Faithful. I do very much like how Alana is able to express her fears. She acknowledges, yes, there are some things that I am afraid of. But while she will acknowledge some fears, there are some fears that she doesn't want to acknowledge as well. Just, she denies being afraid of them, unless, like, forced to admit it. I don't know, just little things like that, little flaws like that, just make her seem all the more human, which is great. And to be fair, her fears are very reasonable. Like, I can't blame her for being afraid to feel love, like romantic love especially, given the limited exposure she had to it, especially at such a young age. Her mother dying in childbirth, never knew a mother, and just only knowing her father as this. We don't see him much, but Broken Shell is the first thing that can't come to mind. I don't think it was quite that dramatic, but just, Alana stated it was like part of him died when her mom died. Or he came off like that. Like, her father gave up something that he never got back. And with that kind of example in your life from a young age, your formative years, it's like, you can't really blame her for not wanting to fall in love, for being afraid of falling in love. Also, the fact that she just, for the longest time, majority of this time, she is just so driven to get her shield. She just wants her shield so she can go off on adventures. Falling in love would slow her down, would tie her down, and keep her from going on these adventures, which is something she does not want. She is very driven, she knows what she wants, and she wants to go for it. And then, you know, her fear of Roger, understandable. Scary dude. Powerful dude. And the fact that there are some freaky coincidences, like the sweating sickness, and Duke Roger being like the only sorcerer who could be strong enough to do that. And then him being in line for the throne after the king, queen, and John die. You know, kind of sketchy. As well as the Duke daring John to go into the Black City. You know, kind of sketchy, kind of suspicious. So, can't blame her for her fears. So, moving forward a bit, I don't know if I'm just very biased because this is told from Alana's point of view, but when Delia came in, I just did not like her. Very likely because of Alana's point of view and just being outside the situation, but just the fact that Alana was the only one who's just like felt off with her. All the guys just falling over their heels for her. Like, not one of them was just like, you're not a good person. Especially when she was like doing everything she could to make the guys jealous of one another, playing hot and cold with John and like all the other guys. It's like, guys, open your eyes and see what she's doing. Just, I can't stand manipulative characters, even if that's like plays a part in the story. Just like, when people manipulate people like that, I can't stand it. I have mixed feelings about George's choice of advancing towards Alana, expressing his feelings. Little bold, but at the same time, Alana has been pretty oblivious to things having to do with feelings and emotions. Like, if George did anything subtle, more subtle than that, it probably would have gone right over her head or she would have brushed it off. So, yeah, also to be fair, while it is nice that he just got his feelings out in the open, and excluding like a time or two, backed off. You know, once he got out in the open, like, this is how I feel, this is what I would like, I'm not going to push anything, just wanted to let you know, step back. That he was willing to wait as long as it would take, and, you know, he just wouldn't speak of it again, let her make the choice, back away, they can still be friends. That was very clear, they could still be friends, and that part I thought was handled pretty well. Will admit also, when I was reading, a little skeeved out over the ages. I can't for the life of me remember how old George is off the top of my head. It was mentioned at the very beginning of the first book. But he was at least in his teens while Alana was like 10, 11. So it's like, okay, weird. I flip-flop for how I feel about the ages. Also, I still adore how Alana is still learning. Things, once again, still not coming naturally for her. She has to put the time, she has to put the effort, and she is learning things from multiple sources. Like from the soldiers in the war camp, picking up little tips and tricks from all of them, adding it to her little repertoire, and it's just great. I love that. When you're training to fight, when you're training to be a soldier, a warrior, a knight, whatever, you use all the resources you have available to you. If you can learn something that your main teachers can't teach you, you learn it. And just, I love that, the constant learning. And also, while on the topic of the war camp, I do like how Alana got the chance to see the darker side to being a knight, to being a soldier, to fighting. That's, when she gets her shield, at one point or another, she's going to be expected to fight, to kill, and see firsthand the damage that she would be inflicting on someone down the line at some point. So it's great to see, as a reader, it being expressed, being a knight isn't all valor and glory, and Alana as a character realizing things get gory, things get bloody, things get dark. And also just how far Alana has come with like her confidence in using her gift. Like in the first book, she didn't like it. She was terrified of it. She still is terrified of it, but she's willing to use it. And use it to help people. Kind of like how she was told in the beginning. To use her gift to help offset the lives that she will take as a knight. And how she definitely seems to have taken that to heart with helping out, healing injured soldiers, and just being so willing to use it for that purpose. So that little character development and growth, love to see it. And also, I just love how Sir Miles found out that Alana was a girl, all on his own, way back during the sweating sickness. Just how he is known for so long, but he still kept his mouth shut. I also adore what a father-like figure Miles has become to Alana. Also fantastic. But then again, I love Sir Miles. Love Sir Miles, he is fantastic. Once Alana starting to embrace her femininity a bit more, love that. Her growing up and realizing, I can be a warrior, but I can be a girl, I can be a woman at the same time. She doesn't have to give up one to be the other. Just, she can be both. I love that. Her coming to terms with that. Her being the one to suggest to George's mom and asking her, can you show me how to be a girl? Can you show me how to be a woman? Because she doesn't know. She doesn't know how to dress. She doesn't know how to, like, accessorize, to do her hair or makeup, how to act etiquette-wise. And at this point, she is old enough and mature enough to realize, I need to know this as well. She's planning ahead and she wants to learn. And just, I love seeing how she's, like, genuinely trying to work on this fear of intimacy she has when her and John got together. Just, it's great. Love it. Growth, conquering fears, completely stand for that. Though I will say, John handled that whole night, the first night that she went to him, very, very badly. When he stumbled across her on her birthday, on the grounds, dressed as a girl, I wanted to smash my head against the table. I have a quote here. I have a quote. This was bound to happen. Surely you realized all along this would happen. Like when he wants to take things further. Just when he said that, I got annoyed. It's like, dude, what? Back off. And then this whole BS response of go away before I change my mind, when she scared going further than kissing, it's just like, dude, the differences on how George and Sean have handled these feelings they've had for Alana and how they approached expressing these feelings is night and day. Night and day. Fast forwarding a bit, when we got to Gary finding out about Alana's secret, I love how he handled it. Just not believing for a bit, and then it's like, yeah, okay. And also just how all of her friends still love and care about her, despite the fact that they have found out that she was keeping the secret from them. I do appreciate the fact that they realized you're still our friend. You may not be a guy, but you're still our friend. It's a shame that you're leaving so soon because we'd love to know who Star Lana is. And just her being all like, I'm the same. Star Lana is the same as Squire Allen. One thing that I wish we got a little more like substance with was the period of time after she killed Duke Roger and her leaving. Little gap there, and I wish we saw what was going on. Like, the king and queen's reaction a bit more with this revelation that their son's, like, best friend is a girl. Been lying to them and got her shield despite being a woman. And then killing Duke Roger. You know, their nephew. As well as more of the shock of the fact that Duke Roger was trying to screw them all over. Trying to kill their son and kill the queen. And just, I wish we got a little more of that instead of just jumping to Alana leaving. So yeah, mildly frustrated at that. And, you know, a small frustration. For all I know, it could be brushed upon in the next book, but whatever. And also, finally, I do like how we got kind of an explanation for why Alana couldn't put her finger on why she disliked Duke Roger so much. And the fact that she kept her mouth shut for so long with things. Just magic, the whole magic barrier and whatnot. Probably not the best explanation, but it's good enough for me. It's a solid enough explanation to make me feel okay about it. And yeah. I don't think there was too much more I wanted to say when it came to this book, so yeah. For anyone still watching, what do you think? Did you like this addition to the series? Did you not? Were there parts that I didn't talk about or didn't discuss enough that you want to talk about? Let me know. Let's get a discussion going. And yeah, that's it for this video, and I hope to see you guys next time.